Hello and welcome, I am your host, The Hidden One, and let's get right into the video. The Assassin's Creed franchise is infamous for its breathtaking recreations of historical settings. Whether it be the cities of Renaissance Italy or the jaw-dropping world of Ptolemaic Egypt, these games are beloved by fans because of the incredible amount of detail and immersion that these games have. The last two installments in the franchise were both set in ancient periods of time. Origins was set in ancient Egypt, whilst Odyssey was set in ancient Greece. A massive jump back from Syndicate, set in 1868 Victorian London. Now we are waiting to launch ourselves into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a game set in England during the Viking era. This begs the question, what is next? If it hadn't have been for the numerous leaks of Valhalla or Ragnarok, as it was called then, we would have made the assumption that Rome was the next setting we would get to complete an ancient trilogy of games. Here are three very different settings that I would like to see in the future. I don't think we are necessarily likely to see these settings, this is just my preference as of now. Caracas, Venezuela. Though my knowledge surrounding Venezuelan history is very limited, I do know quite a bit about the beginning of the 19th century in South America. The Venezuelan Revolution that led to Venezuelan independence could make a great setting for the Assassin's Creed franchise. The narrative in the story could explore so many different aspects of the time period, such as the injustices of the day, including slavery, 20% of the Venezuelan population are slaves, and the lack of social mobility, as many people living in the country were peasants. This could easily be incorporated into an Assassin's Creed story, where the player could interact with famous people of the time in a very meaningful way, such as Simon Bolivar. Caracas could also work as a setting for Assassin's Creed for two other reasons. First of all, the city's architecture and city layout would allow for parkour similar to that of Havana in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, if not even better. And two, Caracas suffered from a heavy earthquake in the year 1812. In the context of Assassin's Creed, this could be blamed on a precursor artifact in a similar fashion to the earthquake in Lisbon in Assassin's Creed Road. It would be really good to finally see a South American country be featured in an Assassin's Creed game. China or Japan. In tied second place for me is China or Japan. Many Assassin's Creed fans have been asking for years for China or Japan to be a setting, and most people aren't particularly fussed what period of time we get, but most want a game set during a medieval era. Though this obviously would be amazing, I would prefer it if Ubisoft tried to distance this entry from other games set in Japan. Instead, there are other times that could suit Assassin's Creed. For example, an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan during the late 1800s, a period of time in which a lot of cultural change was taking place, would make a great setting. The Templars could be controlling Western countries who are looking to force their culture and way of life on the Japanese, and the Assassins could act as the protectors of Japan. A game set in this period of time in Japan would also help to distance this game from Ghost of Tsushima, a game that is often praised for being the Assassin's Creed game Ubisoft didn't give us. I think that China would make a very strong setting though too, hence why I've put both Japan and China in my second place. China's particularly high though due to Shaojun. We have technically speaking had a game set in China, but that was of course an AC Chronicles game, so we haven't properly explored the setting yet. It would make a very strong setting given that the next generation console is coming out, and this would be a nice move away from Europe and the Mediterranean for the next few AC games. Warsaw. To me at least, Warsaw has so much potential as an Assassin's Creed setting. This is the only place I would ever want to see appear in an Assassin's Creed game set during the Second World War. Think about it. There are so many opportunities to tell a compelling story here during this period of time. The Templars, in the form of Nazis, could for example be searching for a precursor artifact that can change the genetic makeup of humanity, so that they can achieve their vision of creating an Aryan race. We could also definitely see the Warsaw Rising and multiple other events. If however you dislike the setting of World War II for Assassin's Creed, then Warsaw would still make a great setting further back in history, such as in the year of insurrection, which is 1830. The architecture of the time would create countless opportunities for parkour, preferably using an upgraded system from Unity. Warsaw is a city that has seen countless conflicts and has been at the centre of a truly mighty nation, in the form of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Honestly, the potential is there, and it shouldn't be overlooked. What do you think of the settings that I have suggested for the series? They're certainly very different to the settings that we've seen before in Assassin's Creed, but that is partially the point. Assassin's Creed is at its best when it explores and delves into areas of history that aren't often covered in media. If you would like me to write my own Assassin's Creed storyline for a future video featuring one or more of these settings, then please let me know, as I would love to talk more about them. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends. I have been your host, The Hidden One, and I'll see you in the next one.